Hello everybody, this is my presentation for my graduation thesis, Analysis and Design of Novel Optimizers for Neural Networks. The main hypothesis I had is well-tuned Muon optimizer outperforms Adam optimizer in large language model training. And thesis is divided into 3 steps. First is the analysis of Muon optimizer and Adam optimizer and understanding how Muon optimizer works and why it outperforms other optimizers. Then I do experiments searching for best hyperparameters for both of the optimizers and then training the large language model and comparing the results. In my thesis, I derived rules for combining 2 frontier technologies. Those are Muon optimizer and large language models. Optimizers are responsible for neural network training. They update the weights of the neural network according to this rule. So the new weight is going to be old weight minus some update number. And the idea here is that wherever this weight, this coordinate is on the loss surface, we want to update this coordinate so that it moves down the loss surface, which is this surface of the error. So that's how we minimize error. Adam optimizer makes the update for each weight custom, which improves the training. And Muon optimizer has even more advantages that I will explain with the experiments. The experiments will be done on a large language model. This is a very simplified architecture. So large language model has many different types of neural networks and architectures and learning tasks. So it's a very good example to test Muon optimizer and different optimizers on, because it contains many different applications of optimizers. Here is the architecture of my large language model that I built. So I built a large language model that can be run on a single GPU, and it's small enough and it's fast enough to train on. Code for this large language model is published in my thesis. There are 3 sets of experiments done. First of all, I did learning rate sweeps because learning rate is the most important, most impactful hyperparameter. So I found best learning rate for both Muon optimizer and Adam optimizer. So my goal is to compare Adam and Muon optimizer and to see which one is better. So after finding optimal learning rates for both of them, then I did a search for other hyperparameters which include momentum, weight decay schedules. After I found best hyperparameters for both of the optimizers, Adam and Muon, then in the third experiment, I just let them train for a lot longer to get more data on which one performs better. Here is an example of the results of the experiment. So for the first experiment, these are learning rate ablations for Muon optimizer. So in the first experiment, I tried different learning rates, all of these for Muon optimizer, and best loss, which is lowest error, it made with this particular learning rate. And so the accuracy was also highest, and the training time is negligibly longer than other configurations, so this was a clear winner. The idea behind first 2 experiments is to tune both of the optimizers, Adam and Muon, to their peak performance to see which one is going to make the large language model learn better, learn to generate text better and faster with less data. This curve shows that large language model is training and learning to generate text better and better. This curve is for our winner, the best optimal learning rate for Muon optimizer, and after 0.77 minutes of training, it achieved the lowest loss out of all of the tested learning rates. This is example of the second experiment where I searched for other best hyperparameters besides the learning rate. So there were many different hyperparameters to search. These are 2 examples, and these are the results. For example, Muon momentum 0.9 proved to be best. And in the third and last experiment, I used the best setup for both of the optimizers, and we see here that a Muon optimizer won. It has better loss valid on 500 steps and on 200 steps, so in both cases, compared to Adam optimizer. Also, Muon optimizer has a lot larger tolerance range for learning rate, which means it's not so sensitive. Here, researcher must be very precise and precisely set the learning rate, while here there is a lot bigger window to set the learning rate, which is also then a lot less prone to error. First conclusion is that for the optimal configuration design of optimizers, it's important to do hyperparameter search for any AI model. And second conclusion is related to how and why Muon optimizer outperforms all other optimizers, including Adam. Optimizer updates are dependent on the steepness of the loss surface. So if the surface is ill-conditioned, very steep in some directions or flat in others, then optimizer will make very large steps in the sharp, steep directions, which will cause instability, and very small steps in the flat directions, which will cause slow divergence. Muon optimizer fixes this problem. It makes step in each direction unit length, which means that a neural network now can learn a lot more stably and predictably, and this allows for better design of the optimizer. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for watching, guys. That was my thesis presentation. Check out my school if you want to learn all of this stuff that AI researchers use. Link below the video, and see you in the next video.